So when was the last time that you were in a conflict with someone and maybe you ended up using your words and now you regret it, or maybe you even went as far as using your hands? Conflict is normal. As human beings, we fight because we are different. Our opinions, our thought processes, and all that is different. But what's important is how do we handle conflict? What's up, guys? Welcome back to Godly Insights with Bianca. This is our daily devotional. Today, we want to talk about how we handle conflicts, and our verse for the day is Matthew chapter 5, verse 9. It says, "Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the children of God." So, conflict is a normal part of human beings, like I said, because we are different. We have different minds, we have different parents, some of us, and even if you are siblings, we are still different. Some of us come from different homes. We have different beliefs. So conflict is inevitable for us. We are always bound to have conflict with each other. Sometimes we fight. We don't always agree. Sometimes we even mistreat each other, and that leads to conflict. But what's important more than the conflict itself is how we handle it. How do we, come out of such situations? What I've realized with us as human beings is sometimes when it comes to conflict, say you disagree with your friend and you have something, a matter of conflict. Maybe you feel like your friend has done something wrong against you and your friend doesn't understand how they've erred against you, or maybe they do, but because of their pride they just want admit and say, "Hey, I'm sorry, I know that I made a mistake." Those kinds of things happen. But what usually happens with us as people, because we are people, we end up, sometimes we have so much pride in our hearts. You realize that what you've done something that's wrong, that's so wrong against someone. You wouldn't want someone to treat you in that way. But because you have so much pride in your heart, you're like, "I can't admit that I was wrong." So instead of doing that, you end up, finding excuses. Sometimes you even end up avoiding that person, and that can, hurt a friendship. It can lead to, the end of relationships. You end up being enemies with a person for a small issue that could have been resolved. So, and also you find that if you are the one who, when wrong has been done against you, sometimes you have so much anger in your heart. And when you have so much anger in your heart, you end up saying hurtful things that you maybe didn't mean. So that person who has erred against you, instead of, realizing and humbling themselves and admitting they are wrong, because you've been angry against them and you end up saying hurtful things, or treating them in a bad way, they end up also retaliating and saying, "Well, I'm not going to apologize. How can I apologize to such a person? How can I also apologize? You've also done me wrong, so we are even now. I don't need to apologize." That's also what ends up happening. So pride, anger influences how we then respond when we face conflict. But what we need to realize is every time that you are in a conflict with someone, take a minute to just pray to God. Tell it to God. Tell God, "God, I'm not seeing eye to eye with my friend, with my mom, with my dad, or with my sibling. We have this issue, Lord. I feel like this person is, erred against me. They have offended me in such a way. Give me counsel. How can I handle this?" And also, search for counsel in the Bible. The Bible is always a sure way to get counsel. The Bible, gives us advice as far as whatever it is that, bothers us in life, whatever it is, even if it is conflict, whatever it is, there is no counsel that you will not find in the Bible. So always turn back to the Bible. The other thing is, talk things out. If there is a conflict, after you pray about it, after you have time to calm down, then talk about it. Don't talk in anger. Realize that this person that is, aids against you is not the problem, because we are human beings. We have so many burdens. Sometimes we are at our weakest, we end up offending our loved ones. So the person is not the problem. The problem is the sin. The problem is the burdens that we carry that sometimes make us so angry and moody and sulky and end up making us offend other people. So talk things out calmly, your anger aside, these feelings of animosity aside. Talk things out. lastly, the Bible also says that another fruit of the Spirit is long suffering. It is forbearance. Sometimes we need to be kind to each other. We need to be accepting and tolerant with each other. We need to realize that we are not perfect. We are all human beings. Sometimes we have our lowest points where we make mistakes, where we offend other people. We need to accept each other and, have long suffering with each other, be patient with each other, have forbearance towards each other. When someone is against you, make it a point to, consciously realize that maybe this is their lowest point. Maybe they are having a bad day. Maybe things are not going well at home or at work, and then they took it out on you. Learn to forgive and have forbearance for other people. That is the trick to get out of all sorts of conflict. Don't hold on to grudges in your heart. Realize that we are just human beings. We are just human beings. We are not perfect. We make mistakes. So let's always have long suffering towards each other and be patient towards each other. So that was our word for the day. Whenever there is a conflict, pray about it, seek counsel from the Bible, talk about it, and have forbearance with each other. Be patient with each other. So until tomorrow's in-depth Bible study, I hope you guys have a good day. Cheers.